Hey guys, welcome to QuadS Trading. So I'm going to start doing my weekly analysis on the stocks that I've traded for the week, the previous week. So this here is for the week of the 11th. I did go on a little bit on a break doing these videos because I'm extremely busy at work. This was my very busy season, and now that I'm just about done, I can start doing this again. So essentially, this is GOVX. Um, if you haven't seen the introduction video, head over to my channel, subscribe, go to the very first video. I do make an introduction to this actual strategy, and we do teach this strategy in our Discord. Right now, we are offering a lifetime membership. So it's $250, and you get a lifetime membership. You get all the scanners, our stock analysis, any updates, at the exception of live trading if we ever do it. Everything is included in the lifetime membership. Our stock alerts is very simple. You get alerts on Discord, which is nice because I get them on my phone. I can trade that way. And we do have a awesome stock analysis bot. Essentially, you put any ticker you want, and we only do penny stocks. So those are the ones I didn't want to use with. And it analyzes all the information that you need to be able to short sell it in about 20 seconds using one command. Instead of going on Yahoo, finding some information, other websites that we look at some stuff, everything's combined into one. If you want to see a video on that, it's also in my channel. So let's get started. So essentially this one here, GOVX, is one that I've shorted many times, and our SS1 trade, which is our bread and butter, happened every single time. So I was extremely confident with this one. The only difference between the other trades and this one is this here is earnings. I did not see it. So I'm full transparency. I believe in that. I win or lose, I will share you everything. People make mistakes all the time, so not seeing the earnings was my mistake on this one here. So I was very confident. So I shorted here when it went below this blue line, shorted again here, shorted again here, because I thought for sure this was going to drop real quick, but it did the opposite. I shorted again here, kind of average up, and then I covered here for a loss. I think my loss was about $130 on this one. I just said I screwed up. I'm out next. But what I should have done, so my rule is after 1 p.m. I don't trade. So this one here is at 1:30. So right out the hop, this should not have been a trade because I don't like trading in the aftermarket. And most trades that do the system after 1 p.m., they tend to do it either in the after or in the pre-market of the following day. It's not something that I like doing. So rule number one for me, nothing after 1 o'clock, which I did not follow here. So it's a mistake number one. Mistake number two, there is a dotted line here. Prices are very likely to go to these prices. And we do teach this in our course. This is called an SS2 entry. And this, when you have this, you need to size accordingly. So if I were to take this trade, it would have been just a 50 share here, knowing that it could go up here. And guess what? It did. So knowing all this here, like 1 p.m., I don't trade. I wake up at 6:30. This is where it like the trade should have happened. I wake up at 6:30. Then I see that there's this dotted line here. I locate, I short here, I cover at this magenta line here or the purple, whichever one comes first. In this one here, it was the magenta one, and I would have profited $104 instead of losing $132. So like I said, even though people have been trading systems or you've been trading for a very long time, you can make mistakes, and that is one of my mistakes this week. So this is the first week that actually was not profitable. I think I was down $85 in like 3 months just because I made actually two mistakes. So let's move over to a next trade that we did. BCG. BCG here, this is a textbook, what we call SS1. It pumped, it came down below, I shorted here, and I covered right here. So I covered before the close. I didn't really want to hold this one overnight. I think the fees on this one was $12 overnight. So I figured by the time it goes from $3.55 to me to cover that $12, that goes down 12 cents. And to this one here, it went down, I think what, 30 cents ish. So sure, I would have made an extra $15. And this is all based on 100 shares, just to make the easy number. But didn't want to take the chance on a $12 overnight fee. I just got out right before close. So this was a nice profit of definitely not $1.18, $118. All right, next one is MULN. This one here is another mistake, and I'll show you guys how this should have been traded. Um, so crosses below the blue line, this is your entry number one. Instead of going big on the first entry, I should have only done 50 instead of 100. So short selling is very important to use a smaller trade size. You will actually be more profitable if you do smaller trade size, and it'll be a whole lot less stressful when trades go against you. And it does happen. So this here, I should have shorted it here, which I did on the first one, but I did 100 shares. Then I shorted again here, which is fine because it's a double top. So I shorted here. And then over here, there's this dotted line again. You know, this one here is this, when I have them orange dotted, it means resistance in the past. So if I were to go to the 4-hour chart here, let me just scale up here real quick. See right here, there's it pumped here and it pumped here at roughly, 393. So this is a resistance that we check for at the same time. So sometimes it's just like, hey, you know what? The price could go there, and guess what? It did, and it actually went over. So I should have shorted here also, which I ended up covering at a loss of $101 anyways. Because this one here, I'm just like, you know what? I screwed up. I'm out before things get worse. Because when you have a lot of shares, like 150, if it goes up $1, you're down $1. If it goes up $2, you're down 300. So it can add up very quickly, especially with penny stocks. They can run for a while, but if you do this strategy properly, you should be fine. So it should have been shorted 50 here, should have shorted 50 here, 50 here for an average of 346 for 150 shares, and then you just wait it out, and then either A, cover when you wake up at 6:30, which is one of our strategies we cover when we wake up, because sometimes you don't really want to play a guessing game as to what will happen at open. So I would have covered this one here. So at $24 win instead of a $100 loss, which is a huge difference. So if you do this plus GOVX, like I'd be up 75 instead of being down 230, right? Which is a huge, huge, huge swing. And that's why this week was not profitable for me. It happens. You learn your mistakes and you just move on. And if you were to chase that magenta or purple line, you've actually made $54 off this trade. Next one, KXYN. This one here, it was an awesome textbook system one. I got in here, 50 shares, double top. That means I got in roughly in this area here at the 624, and I covered right here for a nice profit of $121.66. This is like textbook. These are awesome trades. I would take these any day of the year. And then we have GREE. This one actually was also a nice one. This one like tanked so fast. Pump, pump, pump. And then my entry, was right here. Sure, it goes against you. It'll go up and down. Just like when you buy stocks, it goes up and down. Technically I'm down $43 on 100 shares. Not a big deal. And then at open, it just crashed, which was very nice. So this one here on 100 shares, I would have made $54. And then the last one is SPPL. The lower price stocks, like anything under, $2 or your entry is close to 150, you don't make a whole lot of money on the actual trade. But they're still worth doing because they all add up, right? So you short right here at 139. You cover at this magenta line for 119, and you would have profited $20. So if you like this strategy, or even if you're just curious to know more about it, just curious, you're like, ooh, maybe I want to look into it, head over to my Discord. The channel is in the description below. I do answer any questions that's not related to the system. So if you ask me, hey, did I win some trades this week? Did I lose some trades? I will say yes. I will make videos like this as honest as I can be. I don't want to be one of those guru guys who get busted because they're paper trading instead of live trading and they're lying to you guys. Any information you need to know, I'm open to everything because that's what we're all about in our community. If you have any questions, you can even go to our Discord, check out our trade logs, and all of our students they post on there. Myself and one of our top short sellers, Sean, he posts his trades there all the time, and he lost two small trades this week. He closed them, and he hasn't lost a trade in like a month and a half. So he's very successful. This strategy does work if you implement it properly and you size accordingly. Very important, size accordingly. But yeah, enough of the chit chat, and we'll see you in Discord, and we'll see you in the next one.